Chapter 1372. The Sword from the Starry Sky Fishmen Clan. Lin Moyu was very cautious. If he had opened the box himself just now, the sword-like light would have definitely struck him. Although it wouldn't have been dangerous, it wouldn't have been pleasant either. Lin Moyu could sense that the attack power of this light had already reached the level of a minor deity. A few seconds later, the light disappeared, and the box returned to calm. However, Lin Moyu did not move. He used his undead vision to check and confirmed that there was no soul in the box, which made him feel slightly relieved. Having a soul and not having a soul are two different concepts. If there is a soul, no matter what is in the box, even if it's just a magical treasure, it would be a magical treasure controlled by someone. A powerful magical treasure paired with a soul at the level of a minor deity represents danger. If there is no soul, even if the magical treasure has developed a spirit, its danger level would significantly decrease. After confirming that there was no great danger, Lin Moyu approached the box again. Inside the box was a small silver sword, with silver light flowing on it. It didn't look like a metal sword but rather like a jade sword.
It doesn't look like a human sword.
Lin Moyu looked at the patterns on the sword. They were not human patterns, and the sword-making technique was also different from that of humans. This sword belonged to an alien race, but for some reason, he felt a sense of familiarity. After thinking for a moment, he realized where this familiarity came from. This sword indeed did not belong to humans but to the Starry Sky Fishmen clan. He had seen a similar sword in the hands of Yuchingru. Although not identical, it was at least 90% similar.
Did a minor deity from the Starry Sky Fishmen clan come here and die here?
There was too little information to make any conclusions. The grade of this sword was very high, but he couldn't determine exactly how high for now. However, he was sure that this sword had already developed a spirit. A magical treasure with a spirit is not easy to subdue and would take a considerable amount of time. It could take as little as a few dozen days or as long as several years. Now was not the time, so Lin Moyu put it away for future consideration. After finding so many tombstones, he finally discovered an item from the outside world, which made Lin Moyu think that Su Qingyang shouldn't be too far away.
Back then, those who entered were all minor deities. There weren't many, but there were quite a few. I just don't know what they encountered back then, why they were trapped here and couldn't leave.
Lin Moyu murmured to himself. Since entering, he hadn't encountered any danger. For so many minor deities to fall here, there must be danger. But where was the danger? Why hadn't he encountered it since entering? Thinking of this, Lin Moyu suddenly realized something.
It's not that I haven't encountered it, but that I have resolved it. One of the dangers should come from the swamp. I just haven't interacted much with the swamp. By coloring the inscriptions on the tombstones, I gained the ability to fly, so I didn't need to interact with the swamp, and naturally, there was no danger. Obviously, those minor deities back then didn't color the inscriptions on the tombstones and couldn't fly here, so they would be attacked by the rotting corpses in the swamp. And the closer to the central area, the greater the danger.
Lin Moyu looked up at the undying flames in the sky. The undying flames burned brightly, casting gray light on the land, like a star without heat, nourishing the nether swamp. At this moment, Lin Moyu finally understood. When the warriors returned, they needed the undying flames to nourish them, hoping to fight the stars again one day. But the undying flames also had varying strengths. The further out, the weaker the undying flames. The rotting corpses in the outer swamps were naturally weaker, and the danger level was lower. The closer to the center, the stronger the undying flames, and the stronger the rotting corpses. The minor deities who entered back then must have ventured into the swamps to explore the tombstones. They would inevitably have to fight the rotting corpses in the swamps, and even minor deities might not be their match. This was because the rotting corpses had long since died. If they were alive, those minor deities wouldn't stand a chance against them. This was one of the dangers he could think of. As for other dangers, Lin Moyu believed there must be more. Otherwise, when someone encountered danger in the swamp, those minor deities were smart enough not to enter the swamp again. A few might die, but it wouldn't be a total wipeout. Realizing this, Lin Moyu felt very fortunate. Fortunately, he had the inspiration to color the inscriptions on the tombstones. Otherwise, with his strength, fighting the rotting corpses in the swamp would be very dangerous. He thought of Xiaoming Buddha, the Black Sand God King, and the Erosion God King. He wondered how the three of them were doing and whether they had found the correct method. He continued searching for tombstones, one after another. In the next half-day, he found the tombstones of several more squads. The images on these 3 tombstones were no different, and he still couldn't get the correct answer. Under the tombstone of the 87th squad, Lin Moyu found another item. It was a glove, but unfortunately, the glove had been corroded by the swamp and was half-rotten. Perhaps it was a good magical treasure before, but now it was completely ruined. The laws within the material had dissipated, leaving only the material's inherent sturdiness. After leaving the tombstone of the 89th squad, the Death Knight, who had been scouting ahead, suddenly sent back an alert. Lin Moyu immediately connected to the Death Knight, activating his undead vision. A gray light flashed before his eyes, and the undead vision was cut off. The Death Knight had died, killed by a powerful attack so quickly that Lin Moyu couldn't even see the attacker. With a thought, the Death Knight was resurrected on the spot, and Lin Moyu quickly reconnected to the undead vision. A monster in heavy armor, 3 meters tall, stood not far from the Death Knight. The Death Knight and the monster were about 100 meters apart. The monster held a large knife and slashed at the newly resurrected Death Knight. With a flash of the knife, the Death Knight died again.
Indeed, the swamp is not the only danger.
Lin Moyu's heart tightened. He didn't resurrect the Death Knight again but flew over himself. He flew higher and higher, reaching over 10,000 meters above the ground. The monster was very strong, and he didn't want to get too close. Using his ability to fly, he observed from above to get a clear view of the situation. Soon he saw the monster. As he scanned the area, more monsters of the same kind came into view behind the first one. There wasn't just one monster. There were many. In the visible area alone, there were over 1,000 monsters. There were likely more in the unseen areas. The monsters were 3 meters tall, wearing heavy armor. However, the armor was damaged in many places, especially around the head, where most were broken, revealing the monsters' heads. The monsters had thick fur, resembling apes more than humans. Their eyes glowed with a blood-red light, exuding a cruel aura. As Lin Moyu observed them, they sensed his presence. One by one, they looked up, their eyes glowing red. Hundreds of monsters simultaneously raised their large knives and slashed at Lin Moyu in the air. Terrifying knife lights surged towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu remained calm, quickly dodging the attacks. Suddenly, everything went dark as a monster appeared in front of him. The ape-like monster had leaped from the ground to 10,000 meters in the air, slashing down with its battle knife. 1373, 1373. Chapter 1373. The Terrifying War of Ancient Times. Lin Moyu's face changed slightly, not expecting the ape-like monster to be so fast. The sharp battle knife was close at hand, and the wings of the undead vibrated rapidly. Lin Moyu simultaneously transformed into a stream of light, flying hundreds of meters away in an instant, avoiding the attack. The ape-like monster's attack missed, crashing into the swamp like a meteor. The originally calm swamp suddenly erupted with huge waves, and the bloody mud surged, transforming into giant hands that slapped towards the ape-like monster. Hundreds of nearby ape-like monsters raised their battle knives, and the fierce knife light tore the bloody mud into pieces. A large number of rotting corpses and severed limbs fell from the bloody mud but were quickly swept back into the swamp. The swamp continued to boil, and incomplete rotting corpses crawled out of the swamp, rushing towards the ape-like monsters. The rotting corpses were not restricted by the nether swamp and could fly freely in the air. However, the ape-like monsters clearly couldn't fly. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had to jump up to attack Lin Moyu earlier. A fierce battle broke out between the two sides, neither giving an inch. The rotting corpses' attacks were very strong, denting the armor of the ape-like monsters. In Lin Moyu's eyes, the rotting corpse's attacks, though not as strong as a minor deity, were not far off. The ape-like monsters' attacks were equally powerful, matching the rotting corpses. Lin Moyu watched, his mind filled with various speculations.
The rotting corpses and the ape-like monsters in the nether swamp are not on the same side. Not only are they not on the same side, but they also seem to have a grudge. This is the territory of the first army of the Nether Legion, so these ape-like monsters might be invaders. These ape-like monsters resemble the giant hand that tore open the sky.
Lin Moyu combined the images he had seen earlier, forming his own speculations. He watched the battle for a while. After about 10 minutes, the battle finally subsided. The swamp rolled with waves, and the thick bloody mud dragged the rotting corpses back into the swamp. The ape-like monsters were slightly injured, and their armor was deformed by the rotting corpses' attacks. However, their injuries healed at an astonishing speed, returning to normal in less than 10 seconds. Even the dented armor automatically restored itself in a very short time. At this moment, Lin Moyu had roughly assessed the strength of these ape-like monsters. They surpassed the 9th rank of God King, comparable to the Erosion God King or Jin Hui, but slightly weaker than a minor deity. However, their numbers were large. Even a minor deity like Xiaoming Buddha would have a hard time facing several, let alone hundreds at once. In this place where flying was impossible, they could even be beaten to death. These ape-like monsters had recovery and defense abilities comparable to the Yellow Sand Yaksha, with slightly weaker attacks but greater numbers. Overall, they were more difficult to deal with than the Yellow Sand Yaksha. After pondering for a moment, Lin Moyu couldn't find a way to deal with the ape-like monsters and could only avoid them. Fortunately, the ape-like monsters wouldn't enter the swamp, so Lin Moyu chose to fly over the swamp. At this moment, he was grateful for making the right decision earlier. If he couldn't fly, he would be stuck here, with ape-like monsters blocking the way on land and the swamp being extremely dangerous. He would have to declare the mission a failure and might even be trapped here forever. He also realized that his ability to fly allowed him to avoid the ape-like monsters. If the Black Sand God King and Xiaoming Buddha hadn't made the right choice, they wouldn't be able to fly here. Even if the three of them joined forces, it would be hard to get through. But what did it matter to him whether they could get through or not? It would be best if they couldn't. Soon, he reached the center of the swamp and saw the tombstone.
Nether Legion, 1st Army, 90th Squad's tomb.
Lin Moyu first conducted an inspection and then skillfully activated the tombstone. When the black and red blood appeared, he immediately began coloring the inscriptions.
This is the 90th tombstone, very close to the core. Maybe I can see more images.
Lin Moyu thought to himself, his hands moving quickly and steadily, coloring the characters. When the last character was colored, the tombstone emitted a brilliant red light, and the familiar images appeared again. When the sky was torn open, the images didn't stop but continued. A giant ape head, covered in thick fur, stretched through the tear in the sky.
It's really them.
Lin Moyu was shocked. The apes tearing the sky were identical to the ones he had just seen, only stronger and more terrifying. In the images, as soon as the ape head appeared, hundreds of tombstones in the swamp simultaneously shot out red light. The red light converged into a blade, cutting off the ape's head in an instant, clean and swift. A torrent of blood gushed from the severed neck, raining down on the nether swamp. The general of the First Army's heroic spirit laughed loudly, waving his hand. An invisible force gathered the blood rain, dividing it into hundreds of streams, each pouring into a different swamp. With the ape blood rain nourishing them, the previously lifeless swamps gained a touch of vitality. The general's heroic spirit laughed even more crazily.
Dared to chase us here? Courting death.
His madness didn't scare off the pursuers. More apes charged through the tear in the sky. They entered the nether swamp, facing the blood rain, clearly intending to destroy it completely and eliminate any chance of the First Army's resurrection. The general's heroic spirit laughed even more maniacally.
You will all die, all of you. I curse you. Your flesh will become nourishment. and you will remain here forever, neither living nor dead. Forever. I curse you forever.
The general's voice echoed throughout the nether swamp. The undying flames in the sky trembled violently, like a star without heat. As they trembled, the entire nether swamp shook. The undying flames radiated an invisible, intangible force, bringing death. The apes that had charged into the nether swamp rapidly lost their life force, dying within 2 seconds. They died silently without any resistance. The undying flames in the sky were incredibly powerful, killing without a trace. The images paused again, quickly becoming blurry and then disappearing. The entire battle lasted less than a minute, leaving Lin Moyu's heart pounding. Compared to such a war, the battles he had experienced were nothing. Such powerful beings died so easily. Even minor deities were mere cannon fodder in such a war. The apes that had charged into the nether swamp were cursed, their life force dissipating instantly. Lin Moyu suppressed his inner turmoil. The battle wasn't over yet. It was still ongoing. He needed to continue searching for swamps and tombstones. He carefully examined the base of the tombstone, looking for anything unusual. As the black and red blood receded, a faint blue light emerged.
There really is something.
1374, 1374. Chapter 1374. Can enter but cannot exit. Damn it. A small crystal emitted a faint blue light. Lin Moyu observed it closely and noticed that the crystal had some black and red spots, likely due to prolonged exposure to the blood and flesh mud. From the crystal, he could sense a strong water element law. This was a high-grade water element law material. Lin Moyu judged.
I don't know which minor deity this belonged to, but for it to remain intact in the swamp for so many years, it must be a good item.
He believed that the crystal's grade was not inferior to materials at the minor deity level, but it had been contaminated by the blood and flesh mud, losing its purity. To use it, the impurities inside would need to be removed. After putting away the crystal, Lin Moyu flew into the sky again. From the sky, he looked down at the ground, where the ape-like monsters roamed. The Death Knights could no longer scout ahead, so Lin Moyu sent them to the outskirts to explore. He himself flew towards the core area. With the ability to fly, even without the Death Knights, he could find the other swamps. Lin Moyu discovered that as long as he didn't look at the ape-like monsters on the ground, they wouldn't notice him or attack him. These monsters were cursed, remaining here after death, becoming neither living nor dead. The undying flames had killed their bodies and consumed all their vitality. The curse had erased their intelligence, turning them into mindless killing machines. This curse was more terrifying than death. But in war, anything goes, and Lin Moyu, having experienced war, found such methods normal. Soon, another swamp appeared in his sight, and Lin Moyu immediately flew towards its center. He activated the tombstone and colored the inscriptions in one go. Once again, Lin Moyu witnessed a magnificent yet brutal ancient battle. Even after watching it multiple times, Lin Moyu was deeply moved each time. Unfortunately, the tombstone of the 92nd Squad did not provide more information, and the images stopped abruptly. Time and again, just at the most exciting moment, the images would end.
Damn cliffhangers!
Lin Moyu cursed inwardly and continued his search. One swamp after another, one tombstone after another, Lin Moyu found several more but still saw no more images. Looking at the tombstone of the 99th Squad, Lin Moyu couldn't help but mutter to himself.
Only one left.
In the images, he clearly saw that there were 100 returning squads, forming 100 blood and flesh tombs, which were 100 swamps. Now he had found the 99th one, leaving only the last one. After determining the direction, Lin Moyu flew towards the last tombstone. It had been 6 days since he entered the Nether Swamp. With the continuous exploration by the Death Knights, the terrain of the Nether Swamp was now very clear, and Lin Moyu could accurately determine the location of the 100 squad tombstones. Soon, he found the last tombstone.
Su Qingyang, are you here?
Lin Moyu began coloring the inscriptions while speaking softly. After searching for so long, Although he hadn't found all the tombstones in the Nether Swamp, he had found half of them. Based on his judgment, the minor deity back then should have gone deep inside. He must have fought with those ape-like monsters. The minor deity's strength was superior to the ape-like monsters, and with multiple people working together, they could have made it through. Su Qingyang was one of the outstanding minor deities, so it wasn't surprising that he made it this far. He hadn't found Su Qingyang yet, but if Su Qingyang was still alive, he would most likely be here. Soon, the inscriptions were dyed black and red, and Lin Moyu once again witnessed the ancient battle. Unfortunately, the images still ended at the same point with no difference from the previous ones. Everything ended when the ape-like monsters lost their vitality. Lin Moyu began to doubt his own speculation.
Could my guess be wrong, and there are no complete images? But the ancient battle clearly hadn't ended. What happened afterward?
Lin Moyu was extremely curious. As the red light faded and the black and red blood receded, a green soul orb appeared in his sight. Lin Moyu's eyes lit up, and he absorbed the soul orb into his hand. He clearly saw a soul sleeping inside the soul orb. The soul was of a young human male, and its essence was very solid, indicating that he was very powerful. The soul had turned jade-like, indicating it had reached the 4th grade. A 4th grade soul had the qualification to step into the minor deity realm.
Su Qingyang.
With just one look, Lin Moyu confirmed his identity. It was indeed Su Qingyang, the person he had come to find. Lin Moyu couldn't help but marvel at his luck. The quality of the soul orb was also very high, at least at the minor deity level. It was thanks to the protection of the soul orb that Su Qingyang had survived until now. Su Qingyang was in a deep sleep. After losing his body, maintaining the soul for a long time required sleep to significantly reduce the consumption of soul power. Lin Moyu gently tapped the soul orb.
Wake up.
His voice echoed in the world of the soul orb. After several calls, Su Qingyang's soul finally responded after a dozen seconds. First, his fingers moved, then his soul's aura began to rise. After another dozen seconds, Su Qingyang finally opened his eyes. Long-term sleep had left him with a look of confusion. After a while, the confusion faded, and Su Qingyang fully woke up. All his memories surged in his soul, and Su Qingyang understood what had happened to him and why he had been sleeping. Through the soul orb, he saw Lin Moyu. Seeing that he was human, Su Qingyang visibly relaxed.
Senior, are you here to rescue me?
Su Qingyang addressed him as senior, very politely. Lin Moyu chuckled.
Are you Su Qingyang?
Su Qingyang instinctively nodded.
Yes, I am Su Qingyang.
He was puzzled as to why the senior called him brother. To come here and rescue him, this person must be very powerful, at least at the minor deity level. Hearing Su Qingyang's confirmation, Lin Moyu said,
It's good that you're Su Qingyang. I am Lin Moyu, sent by Senior Zhu Qiwu to rescue you.
Su Qingyang knew Zhu Qiwu, a powerful minor deity. Before entering the Yellow Earth Desert, Zhu Qiwu was already at the 9th rank of a minor deity. He should be even stronger now, possibly having stepped into the deity realm. Su Qingyang said,
So it was Senior Zhu who sent you to rescue me. Stop!
Lin Moyu interrupted Su Qingyang. All this talk of senior and junior was giving Lin Moyu a headache.
My cultivation is not as high as yours. Just call me Junior Brother Lin.
Su Qingyang seemed a bit skeptical but didn't argue. Under Lin Moyu's
sincere
gaze, he agreed.
Thank you, Junior Brother Lin, for rescuing me.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Let's not talk about this now. Do you know how we can leave?
Hearing Lin Moyu's question, Su Qingyang's face changed, and his entire soul twisted. Seeing this, Lin Moyu felt a twinge of unease. Su Qingyang smiled bitterly.
Actually, I don't know how to leave either. Damn it.
Lin Moyu felt like cursing inwardly. This was a trap. They could enter but not exit. How were they supposed to play this game? Su Qingyang suddenly said,
Perhaps only that place can lead us out.
1375 1375. Chapter 1375. Past Encounters and the Way Out. Su Qingyang's words made Lin Moyu's spirit tremble. Su Qingyang seemed to know something. Lin Moyu listened intently as Su Qingyang appeared to fall into a memory.
At that time, 23 of us minor deities entered this place and walked all the way to the end without encountering any danger. Because we hadn't encountered any danger, some of us let our guard down until we met those creatures. Those creatures were very sensitive and quickly noticed us, launching an attack.
Su Qingyang's tone grew more serious. Lin Moyu knew that the creatures Su Qingyang referred to were the ape-like monsters. However, with the combat power of minor deities, especially with 23 of them, they shouldn't have had to worry even if they faced thousands of ape-like monsters. But from Su Qingyang's words, it seemed that wasn't the case. After a few seconds of silence, Su Qingyang's voice resumed.
Their strength was very high, above the 9th rank of God King, but slightly weaker than us. We had 23 people, all minor deities, and originally thought dealing with them wouldn't be a problem. So we fought our way in, going deeper and deeper. But those creatures seemed endless. More and more of them kept coming. No matter how many we killed, they just kept coming. By the time we realized it, we were already surrounded. Our strength was greatly depleted, and some of us were already exhausted. So we changed our strategy, with half of us resting while the other half defended and attacked. But
Su Qingyang fell silent again, his tone becoming even more serious. If he still had his physical body, he would probably be frowning tightly now. Lin Moyu thought that having half the people defend while the other half rested wasn't a good idea. With fewer defenders, the consumption would inevitably increase exponentially. When it was their turn to rest, the recovery time would also increase significantly. In this way, it might not achieve the desired effect and could even backfire. After a few seconds of pause, Su Qingyang continued.
But we found that this approach was incorrect and actually increased our consumption, making things worse than before. So we decided to break through, but at that time, for some reason, a layer of fog suddenly covered the world, and we lost our sense of direction. At the same time, even stronger monsters appeared. More than a dozen monsters at the minor deity level rushed over, breaking our defense. We were scattered and fled in all directions. At that time, I couldn't tell the direction and just randomly chose a direction to break through. Maybe I was unlucky and chose the wrong direction. The monsters chasing me increased in number. The fog was in patches, not everywhere. Sometimes I would leave the fog, but I still couldn't find my way. Eventually, I fled into a swamp. Strangely, after I entered the swamp, the monsters stopped chasing me. But many rotting corpses appeared in the swamp, and it seemed like something in the swamp was trying to pull me in. Because of the fog, I got lost in the swamp again, and the pulling force in the swamp grew stronger and stronger until I couldn't resist it anymore. I finally sank into the swamp, my body corroded and began to rot. I struggled to hold on, hoping to last a bit longer. Finally, the fog cleared, and I saw a stone stele. By then, my body had completely collapsed, so I entrusted my soul to a soul orb and placed it on the stone stele.
Su Qingyang recounted the entire process with a sense of bad memories. For anyone, recalling the process of their own death is not a pleasant experience. Connecting this with the ancient images seen in the tombstones, Lin Moyu finally understood the cause and effect. The number of ape-like monsters that entered the nether swamp back then was astonishing, not less than 100,000. But what he had just seen didn't have that many. Su Qingyang and his companions must have killed many ape-like monsters, significantly reducing their numbers. In the long years that followed, the rotting corpses in the swamp would occasionally come out to fight the ape-like monsters. But because the number of ape-like monsters had decreased, the balance shifted, and over the years their numbers further dwindled, resulting in what he had just seen. However, Su Qingyang mentioned a place that might be the way out of the nether swamp. What was that place? Su Qingyang's earlier description didn't specify that place. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry and waited quietly for Su Qingyang's answer. He had noticed that Su Qingyang was quite talkative. Maybe it was because he hadn't spoken for thousands of years, or maybe it was just his nature. Sure enough, after a while, Su Qingyang spoke again.
During the chase, in the gaps between the fog, I saw a unique place. I saw a giant stone stele, at least 10,000 meters high. The top was shrouded in fog, so I couldn't see its exact height, maybe even more than 10,000 meters. If we want to leave the nether swamp, we might be able to check that place.
Lin Moyu asked.
Senior Brother Su, do you remember the exact location of that giant stone stele?
Su Qingyang shook his head. Lin Moyu summarized Su Qingyang's words and realized that there were three main dangers in this place. The first was the ape-like monsters. Not only were there many of them, but some were at the minor deity level, and there was more than one. The second was the swamp. The swamp had rotting corpses and could corrode flesh. Once trapped, even minor deities would struggle to escape. The third was the fog. Once the fog appeared, it would obscure the sense of direction, making it easy to get lost. One might even accidentally fall into the ape-like monster's encirclement or enter the swamp. Lin Moyu hadn't encountered the fog yet, so he couldn't say much about it. Because he could fly here, the first two dangers didn't affect him much. Lin Moyu knew what he had to do. Find that giant stone stele and see if it could lead to a way out. His task in the nether swamp was complete. He had found Su Qingyang, and now he needed to take him out and hand the soul orb to Zhu Qiwu.
It seems I have to find it myself, but it shouldn't be too far.
The map in his mind was already very complete, with more than 80% of the nether swamp explored. Lin Moyu didn't need to go back. He just needed to continue searching deeper. Just as Lin Moyu was about to move, a layer of faint fog appeared in his sight. The fog appeared out of nowhere and quickly covered a large area. Su Qingyang said,
This is the fog. It can obscure the sense of the soul, making it impossible to discern direction within it.
Lin Moyu responded with a hum and immediately ascended, flying into the sky. Su Qingyang, inside the soul orb, exclaimed in disbelief.
Junior Brother Lin, you can fly?
Lin Moyu replied,
It's my ability.
Su Qingyang didn't doubt Lin Moyu's words but sighed.
If we could fly back then, it wouldn't have been so dangerous. Junior Brother Lin, how long have I been trapped here?
1376 Chapter 1376 The Gentle Princess of the Starry Sky Fishmen Clan. Lin Moyu flew to an altitude of tens of thousands of meters, but the fog did not dissipate. The fog connected the sky and the earth, making it futile to fly higher. Lin Moyu decided to stop searching and wait for the fog to clear.
It's been about 1,000 years, right?
Su Qingyang sighed.
It's been so long. Time flies. I didn't expect to sleep for so long. Is this really sleeping? It's more like being forced into slumber.
Lin Moyu thought. Su Qingyang seemed to have a carefree attitude, appearing indifferent to life and death. Zhu Qiwu had mentioned that Su Qingyang had a complicated background, which was why he had taken the risk to rescue him. A place that could trap even minor deities was bound to be dangerous. Yet Zhu Qiwu still sent him in. Perhaps Zhu Qiwu was unaware of the situation inside. Or maybe it was the will of higher authorities. Su Qingyang was indeed talkative.
Junior Brother Lin, when we 23 minor deities entered back then, how many of us made it out?
Lin Moyu replied.
As far as I know, none of you made it out.
Su Qingyang seemed to have expected this answer and sighed.
The chaotic rules are indeed dangerous, but when has cultivation ever been smooth sailing?
Lin Moyu asked.
What races were the minor deities who entered with you back then?
Su Qingyang recalled.
There were members of the Sand Clan, Starry Sky Fishman Clan, Buddhist Clan, and Bull Demon Clan.
As expected, there were members of the Starry Sky Fishmen Clan. Lin Moyu thought of the small box he had found, which contained a delicate small sword. He had judged it to be an item of the Starry Sky Fishmen Clan, and now it was confirmed. However, among these minor deities, there were no members of the demon clan. According to Su Qingyang, there were members of the demon clan who entered, as well as minor deities from the Golden Eagle clan. But they didn't make it to the Nether Swamp. They were killed in the Yellow Earth Desert. Su Qingyang was very powerful among the top minor deities, just a step away from becoming a true deity. It wasn't surprising that he could kill minor deities from the Demon Clan and Golden Eagle Clan. Su Qingyang sighed again.
I didn't expect that even the one from the Starry Sky Fishmen clan would be trapped here.
Lin Moyu was curious why Su Qingyang suddenly mentioned the Starry Sky Fishmen clan instead of other races. Was there something special about the minor deity from the Starry Sky Fishmen clan?
Was there something special about the one from the Starry Sky Fishmen clan?
Lin Moyu asked. Since the fog hadn't cleared, Lin Moyu didn't mind chatting with Su Qingyang. He might get useful information from him. Su Qingyang said with a hint of emotion.
The one from the Starry Sky Fishmen clan held a high position within their clan and mastered the laws of space.
Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback. Yu Qingru also mastered the laws of space. The Starry Sky Fishmen clan was quite similar to the human clan in appearance and preferences. If not carefully distinguished, it was almost impossible to tell them apart. The main difference lay in their cultivation laws. The human clan had a vast population and dabbled in various laws, covering almost everything. In contrast, the Starry Sky Fishmen clan primarily focused on water and starry sky laws. Additionally, the Starry Sky Fishmen clan had a unique trait. Every so often, a member would awaken the ability to master space laws. This was a bloodline inheritance. Once the bloodline awakened, they could naturally master space laws without deliberate comprehension. Space laws were among the top-tier laws, extremely difficult to comprehend, even more so than becoming a deity. Among the human clan, with a population exceeding 1 trillion, very few mastered top-tier laws, especially space laws, which were rare even among the top-tier laws. Lin Moyu had personally experienced Yu Qingru's mastery of space laws and felt a bit envious. Su Qingyang sighed again.
That gentle princess was exceptionally talented, mastering space laws, coming and going freely, with nothing able to stop her. I thought that even if everyone else died, she would be able to escape. I didn't expect this.
Hearing the term,
Gentle Princess,
Lin Moyu asked.
Is Gentle Princess her name?
Su Qingyang shook his head.
We called her Gentle Princess, but her real name was Yu Qingru, and she was a princess of the Starry Sky Fishmen clan.
Lin Moyu was shocked, his expression becoming strange.
Yu Qingru, she was also called Yu Qingru. Is it just a coincidence of names? The Gentle Princess was a minor deity, while the Yu Qingru I met wasn't even a god king. The difference is too great.
Lin Moyu speculated that it might just be a coincidence of names. If they met again in the future, he might ask her about it.
It's a pity that such an exceptional woman also perished here.
Su Qingyang seemed lost in his memories, not noticing Lin Moyu's change in expression. Suddenly, a loud noise came from the distance, with powerful laws rippling through the air. Lin Moyu saw a red light shining through the fog. Despite the fog obscuring his vision, he could tell it was the light from a tombstone. Having watched the ancient images many times, Lin Moyu was very familiar with the red light from the tombstones. The rumbling grew more intense, indicating that the battle within the fog was becoming fiercer. Lin Moyu guessed that the battle was between the ape-like monsters and the first army of the Nether Legion. Such battles had been ongoing for countless years. Su Qingyang said,
It's starting again. When I first fell into slumber, I was awakened several times by such noises.
Lin Moyu didn't respond to Su Qingyang's words but carefully identified the direction of the sound. The fog interfered with the transmission of sound, making it seem like it came from all directions. However, Lin Moyu managed to roughly pinpoint the direction and believed that was where he needed to go. The rumbling continued for a long time before gradually subsiding. As the battle ceased, the fog began to dissipate. From high above, Lin Moyu could see the swamp, the ground, and the ape-like monsters coming back into view. He immediately flew towards the source of the sound he had identified earlier. A stream of light streaked across the gray sky at extreme speed. Here, if one couldn't fly, they would face endless pursuit by the ape-like monsters, making it impossible to move even an inch, even for a minor deity. But once able to fly, it was like walking on flat ground with no danger at all. The only thing to be cautious of was not to look at the ape-like monsters, as that would draw their attention and lead to an attack. After a dozen minutes, a massive stone stele came into view. The stone stele was enormous, with a width of 5,000 meters and a height far exceeding 10,000 meters. It stood between heaven and earth like a pillar, awe-inspiring.
Su King Ying Mu Mut.
It's so big. I underestimated it before.
Of course, he had underestimated it. He had only seen it vaguely while being chased and on the ground, so he couldn't see it clearly. Lin Moyu ignored Su Qingyang's amazement and stopped 1,000 meters away from the stone stele to observe. At the base of the stone stele, also 1,000 meters away, a group of ape-like monsters roamed. These ape-like monsters were larger and more powerful than the ones he had seen before. They were the minor deity-level ape-like monsters Su Qingyang had mentioned. Lin Moyu only glanced at them briefly before looking away, knowing that looking too long would be dangerous. On the massive stone stele, a line of large characters was inscribed.
Nether Legion, First Army, Tomb of the Legion Commander Yui.
1377, 1377. Chapter 1377. Mistaken, not a jokester but a fool. It turned out to be the tomb of the Legion commander. Lin Moyu recalled the images he had seen repeatedly of that general's heroic spirit in the ancient scenes. That general sacrificed himself, leading his brothers back, leaving a glimmer of hope for the future. That general even unleashed the undying flames, casting curses to kill countless pursuers, leaving them in a state worse than death, unable to escape for eternity. The heroic spirit of that general left an indelible impression on Lin Moyu's heart. Since each squad had a tomb with a tombstone, it was only natural that the Legion commander would have his own tombstone. Upon seeing the words on the tombstone, Lin Moyu knew what he should do. At this moment, Su Qingyang sighed.
Such a huge stele, yet it only has a few words written on it. What is its purpose?
Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback. It was then that he realized Su Qingyang couldn't recognize the inscription on the stele. No wonder he had been calling it a stele all along. He couldn't recognize the inscription, nor had he colored it, so he didn't know it was actually a tombstone. The characters on the tombstone were called the primordial ancient script by that mysterious person, different from the characters used by humans. Without specifically studying the primordial ancient script, one could at most recognize a few scattered words, just like how Su Qingyang could recognize the character
E.
in
Yui.
but not the other characters. Lin Moyu didn't bother explaining and flew straight towards the tombstone. Under Su Qingyang's puzzled gaze, Lin Moyu activated the tombstone. The tombstone trembled violently, and black-red fresh blood gushed out from beneath it. In an instant, the ape-like monsters that had been silent suddenly raised their heads, their powerful and ferocious auras rising. The tombstone hummed, unleashing a powerful force that pushed away all the nearby ape-like monsters, preventing them from approaching. More and more black-red blood gushed out from underground, and Lin Moyu immediately absorbed a large amount of the blood, using his fingers as a pen to color the inscriptions on the tombstone. Su Qingyang was utterly astonished.
Lin Shitty, what are you doing?
Lin Moyu said.
Activating this stele.
Su Qingyang asked in amazement.
Will this allow us to find the way out? Perhaps. Lin Shitty, how did you come up with this idea? You're truly brilliant.
Su Qingyang's flattery came thick and fast. Lin Moyu suddenly realized that this guy wasn't just talkative but a complete jokester. Without further ado, Lin Moyu continued coloring the characters. These characters were too large, and coloring them took quite some time. During this period, the ape-like monsters that had been pushed away went berserk, rushing over. However, without exception, they were all pushed back by an irresistible force, unable to get close. Su Qingyang found it a bit strange.
These fellows seem to be in quite a hurry.
Lin Moyu was fully focused and had no time to entertain Su Qingyang. Su Qingyang carried on his soliloquy.
Why are they in such a hurry for no apparent reason? What did this huge steel do to make them act like this? They were motionless just a moment ago. How strange.
The black-red blood kept being absorbed and applied to the inscriptions. Each time an inscription was colored, the tombstone would tremble violently, and the ape-like monsters would become even more frenzied and anxious. Su Qingyang's tone changed.
These fellows are becoming even more frantic. Lin Shitty, what have you done? I sense an overwhelming consciousness reviving. Such a terrifying force, what level of expert is this?
Su Qingyang could sense it, and so could Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu felt that as he continued coloring the characters, a powerful consciousness was indeed reviving within the tombstone. It was the consciousness of the Legion Commander Yu Yi's heroic spirit. But now Lin Moyu couldn't stop. If he did, he might become an enemy of the entire Nether Swamp. Once he lost the ability to fly, forget the Nether Swamp, even those ape-like monsters on the ground would tear him to shreds. Lin Moyu could only continue coloring, going all the way. The ape-like monsters finally noticed Lin Moyu and swung their battle knives, sending terrifying attacks towards him. Su Qingyang let out a strange cry.
Be careful.
Lin Moyu remained motionless, unable to dodge at the moment, and could only endure. As the attacks closed in, a red light suddenly shot out from the tombstone, enveloping Lin Moyu. The ape-like monster's attacks landed on Lin Moyu but had no effect, like a drop in the ocean, not causing the slightest ripple. Su Qingyang finally breathed a sigh of relief.
Phew, you almost scared me to death.
The ape-like monsters continued their incessant attacks, but to no avail, as all their attacks were blocked by a thin layer of red light.
Su Qingyang lau ghét hơi tì tì li.
Come on, keep coming. I'm right here, come and attack me. If I dodge even once, I lose.
Su Qingyang's shouts were boisterous, as if venting the frustration of being chased for 1,000 years.
Mistaken, not only a jokester but a fool.
Lin Moyu muttered inwardly with some resignation, only able to let him be. One by one, the inscriptions were colored, emitting a dazzling black-red light that was somewhat glaring. The great consciousness within the tombstone grew clearer and more powerful. The undying flames in the sky seemed to grow dimmer, burning even more fiercely. When Lin Moyu finished coloring the last character with the final stroke, the entire tombstone suddenly erupted with a brilliant red light, a pillar of light shooting out, instantly dyeing the entire Nether Swamp red. The Nether Swamp was completely immersed in a world of red, even the gray light of the undying flames replaced by the red radiance at this moment. Then, a terrifying and immense force descended from the sky, as if a giant hand was pressing down on the entire Nether Swamp. Su Qingyang, who had been speaking just a second ago, suddenly lost consciousness, his eyes rolling back. The ape-like monsters on the ground collectively collapsed, losing all movement. The Xiaoming Buddha, Black Sand God King, and Erosion God King in the distance simultaneously looked towards the sky. Accompanied by the awakening of that great consciousness, they too fell into a coma, just like Su Qingyang. In an instant, the entire Nether Swamp fell silent, with only Lin Moyu remaining lucid. A grand and magnificent ancient scene unfolded before Lin Moyu's eyes, with the entire Nether Swamp as the backdrop. From this moment on, Lin Moyu's consciousness also changed, as if he had become the blazing, undying flames in the sky, looking down upon the Nether Swamp with everything within his sight. Lin Moyu experienced the scene firsthand, as if personally witnessing that grand war. In the scene, the sky over the Nether Swamp was torn open by a massive rift, and an ape forced its way in. 100 tombstones simultaneously unleashed their power, forming a blood-red great blade that severed the ape's head in an instant. Previously, Lin Moyu could only marvel at the strength of this blade, capable of instantly killing such a powerful being. But now, from this perspective, he truly saw that this single strike had exhausted all their strength. For this one strike, The last glimmer of hope for the 100 squads was nearly extinguished. Fortunately, after the ape died, its fresh blood became new nourishment, providing sustenance for the 100 squad tombs. However, the 100 squads could no longer unleash a second strike. Countless ape-like monsters then charged in. The Legion commander named Yu, relying on his heroic spirit, cast a curse to kill all the invaders.
I curse you, your flesh and blood will become nourishment, and you will remain here forever, either living nor dead. Forever. I curse you forever.
The Legion commander's voice echoed throughout the nether swamp. The undying flames in the sky trembled violently, like a star without heat. As they trembled, an invisible, intangible force of death radiated from the entire nether swamp. The apes that had charged into the nether swamp rapidly lost their life force, dying within 2 seconds. They died silently without any resistance. The undying flames in the sky were incredibly powerful, killing without a trace. The images paused again, quickly becoming blurry and then disappearing. The entire battle lasted less than a minute, leaving Lin Moyu's heart pounding. Compared to such a war, the battles he had experienced were nothing. Such powerful beings died so easily. Even minor deities were mere cannon fodder in such a war. The apes that had charged into the nether swamp were cursed, their life force dissipating instantly. Lin Moyu suppressed his inner turmoil. The battle wasn't over yet. It was still ongoing. He needed to continue searching for swamps and tombstones. He carefully examined the base of the tombstone, looking for anything unusual. As the black and red blood receded, a faint blue light emerged.
There really is something.
1378 Chapter 1378 The History of the Nether Swamp. As the curse that penetrated the soul echoed, the ape-like monsters that entered the nether swamp died one after another. All their power, essence blood, and laws were drained, turning them into dried corpses. At this moment, Lin Moyu saw some scenes he hadn't seen before. Under the nether swamp, or rather on the other side of the land of the nether swamp, countless yellow sands appeared out of thin air and began to pile up. Lin Moyu suddenly understood the origin of the Yellow Earth Desert. Initially, the Yellow Earth Desert did not exist. It was formed from the laws, essence blood, and life of these ape-like monsters. Everything about the ape-like monsters was transformed into yellow sand under the curse. The yellow sand changed, evolving into earth laws and stone laws, and also gathered some laws from the void. But the battle was not over. After casting the curse, the commander of the Nether Legion had become extremely weak, his soul nearly dissipating. Curses come with a price. Even though the Nether Swamp was his home ground, he had to pay a corresponding price. After the curse, new enemies rushed in. The second wave of enemies was not numerous, also ape-like monsters, also wearing heavy armor, but they were stronger. Lin Moyu guessed that the second wave of ape-like monsters were the ones who had reached the minor deity level. But what caught Lin Moyu's attention was not these armored apes, but the blazing sun above their heads. The sun burned with intense flames, extremely hot. Within the sun, Lin Moyu vaguely heard chanting.
Buddhist clan.
Lin Moyu was stunned. How could the shadow of the Buddhist clan appear in an ancient war? This was completely unrelated. He had read about the Buddhist clan in the records and knew that the Buddhist clan only appeared in the current era. Even in ancient times, before the rise of Shao Zhantian, there was no trace of the Buddhist clan in the Great World. But in this more distant ancient time, he actually heard the voice of the Buddhist clan. The flames in the sun not only brought heat but also purification power, rendering the curse ineffective. Under the scorching flames, the temperature of the nether swamp rose sharply, and the tombstones of the 100 squads began to crack, with some even catching fire. The sun was too powerful. It burned not just with flames but with laws. Even the indestructible tombstones were being dissolved by the laws. At this moment, the commander of the Nether Legion roared again, his voice echoing through the nether swamp.
Great Master, please bring down boundless destruction upon these ants who dare to defy you.
This voice was not like a curse, but it was very effective. The undying flames hanging in the sky suddenly moved. The previously slow and gentle undying flames now became violent. The undying flames transformed into a gray fire dragon, instantly flying to the sun and wrapping around it. The sun struggled frantically, and the chanting grew louder. The sun seemed to be afraid of the undying flames. Then, the gray fire dragon formed by the undying flames twisted forcefully, shattering the sun into pieces. The gray fire dragon opened its mouth and swallowed all the fragments, then spat them out. 9 fireballs flew out, passing through the land of the Nether Swamp and landing on the newly formed Yellow Earth Desert, becoming...
So that's how the fireballs on the Yellow Earth Desert came to be.
Only then did Lin Moyu understand the origin of the 9 fireballs, and he also realized some other things. After shattering the sun, the undying flames did not return to the sky but rushed towards the torn rift. It seemed very dissatisfied with the rift, roaring at it and spewing gray flames to wrap around it. The flames caused the rift to close again, and the Nether Swamp returned to being a complete world. The commander of the Nether Legion issued another curse, cursing the second wave of enemies. Under the curse, the essence, blood, and laws of the second wave of enemies were completely drained, and everything about them turned into yellow sand. The great battle finally came to an end, and Lin Moyu, as a spectator, couldn't help but sigh. Although the first army was defeated, it was not a complete defeat. The first army still had a chance, waiting for their master's return. The scenes of the first army fighting to the last were deeply imprinted in Lin Moyu's soul, never to be erased. The tombstones scorched by the sun were slowly repairing themselves, with the outermost tombstones suffering the most damage. The deeper the tombstones, the less damage they sustained. This also caused the recorded images to vary, with some records already destroyed at that time. Only the tombstone of the commander of the Nether Legion recorded the complete process. After this battle, Lin Moyu finally understood the cause and effect and the origin of the Nether Swamp. It had existed since ancient times, enduring through the flames of war, never extinguished. It was recovering, waiting for its master's return. Lin Moyu was horrified, unable to imagine the strength of the master mentioned by the commander of the Nether Legion. Based on his own experience, Lin Moyu felt that the master mentioned by the commander of the Nether Legion, the master of the mysterious manor castle, and the master mentioned by the general in the ancient tomb were likely the same person. A person with an unimaginably powerful army and strength beyond comprehension. But the images did not end there. They continued. Lin Moyu's consciousness had not yet returned, still overlooking the land. The Nether Swamp fell silent, and the undying flames returned to their normal state, continuing to radiate over the land. Under its illumination, the heavily damaged swamp was slowly recovering. The commander of the Nether Legion also returned to his tomb. Lin Moyu's heart seemed to sink with the entire Nether Swamp, falling into a peculiar state of drowsiness, unaware of the passage of time. He didn't know how long had passed when the sound of metal friction woke him up. His awakening seemed to trigger the awakening of the entire Nether Swamp. The previously dead ape-like monsters revived, standing up and wandering the land. The corpses in the swamp also revived, and a never-ending battle between the corpses and the ape-like monsters began. The ape-like monsters, after death, had their soul fires reignited under the undying flames, but they had no consciousness, only the last instinct, becoming puppets that only knew how to fight. The battles between the ape-like monsters and the corpses were mostly inconclusive, but this was the home ground of the corpses. Over countless years, the number of ape-like monsters gradually decreased, but the speed of this decrease was very slow. It would take countless years for the corpses to kill all the ape-like monsters. Time passed, and the battles continued. Under the Nether Swamp, countless monsters appeared in the Yellow Earth Desert. The Yellow Earth Desert was formed from the essence, blood, laws, and consciousness of the ape-like monsters. All of this contained the subconscious of the ape-like monsters. Due to various reasons, the Yellow Earth Desert developed its own rules. Until one day, a group of people broke into the Yellow Earth Desert, fighting their way through and eventually reaching the Nether Swamp. They ventured deep into the Nether Swamp and fought fiercely with the ape-like monsters. These people included Su Qingyang and 22 other minor deities. They killed a large number of ape-like monsters, eventually attracting the minor deity-level ape-like monsters, and were beaten into a retreat. Most of these minor deities died, with no survivors. Only a few escaped the pursuit of the ape-like monsters, but they eventually died in the swamp. Su Qingyang was one of the very lucky ones, carrying a high-grade soul orb that protected him from the swamp's corrosion.
Hey, it's her.
In these scenes, Lin Moyu saw a person. 1379, 1379. Chapter 1379. Clear grudges. Collecting some interest first. Lin Moyu knew he wasn't mistaken. It was indeed Yu Qingru. Her demeanor, appearance, and even her aura were exactly the same as Yu Qingru. According to Su Qingyang, this Yu Qingru was known as Princess Ro, and she was incredibly powerful, repeatedly escaping the pursuit of the ape-like monsters. But as more and more ape-like monsters surrounded her, combined with the interference of the fog, she was eventually cornered. In the end, like many others, she fled into the swamp, reaching the center and finding the tombstone. Lin Moyu knew that the reason she was in such a dire situation was because the Nether Swamp restricted her space laws and also limited her ability to fly. Otherwise, no matter how many ape-like monsters there were, they wouldn't have been able to catch her. With space laws, she could come and go freely, almost impossible to kill. Coming to such a ghostly place was just bad luck for Yu Qingru. Princess Ro didn't just sit idly by the tombstone. She took out her jade box and summoned the small sword from it. The small sword was incredibly powerful, unleashing astonishing strength that almost tore through space. Princess Ro entered the space torn by the small sword and disappeared. After she left, the small sword returned to the box and fell at the foot of the tombstone.
She didn't die. She ultimately escaped.
Lin Moyu murmured to himself.
Princess Ro didn't die. But what about Yu Qingru? Princess Ro is a minor deity, while Yu Qingru is only at the 9th rank of a true god. The difference is significant. Could it be that something happened during her escape?
Lin Moyu couldn't think of any other reason. He was certain that the Princess Ro in the images and the Yu Qingru he encountered were the same person. There are similar people in the world, but it's rare to find someone exactly the same. Even if there is a 99.99% similarity, a strong person at the 9th rank of a true god can still see the 0.01% difference. In the images, Lin Moyu saw the minor deity from the Sand Clan. He was truly dead, with nothing left. The one from the Buddhist clan escaped further, reaching the swamp of the 71st Squad before dying, and indeed left something behind. It was a Buddha statue. The swamp of the 71st Squad was one he hadn't searched yet. But looking at the current progress of Xiaoming Buddha, it was unlikely he would find it. Xiaoming Buddha didn't dare enter the center of the swamp, and searching for another 1,000 years would be futile. If he was unlucky and attracted the ape-like monsters, he might even die. The scene before him disappeared, and his consciousness returned to his body. At the same time, a piece of information came to him, and Lin Moyu knew how to leave. There were two ways to leave. One was that every 100 years, an exit would appear in the sky. Through this gap, one could leave the Nether Swamp and return directly to the Great World. This gap was a wound left from the great battle years ago, which had never healed. Even if one couldn't fly here with the ability of a minor deity, jumping tens of thousands of meters and entering the exit wouldn't be a problem. The second way was through the tombstone of the Legion commander. Because Lin Moyu had colored the inscriptions on the tombstones, he had gained their recognition and could open the passage within the tombstone to return to the Yellow Earth Desert. From there, he could return to the Great World through the Yellow Earth Desert. Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't wait for decades and would choose the passage within the tombstone. But now, besides him, there were 3 others still unconscious in the Nether Swamp. After thinking for a few seconds, Lin Moyu had a plan. He put away Su Qingyang's soul orb, and the flash wizard appeared on his shoulder. He transformed into a stream of light and flew into the distance. First, He arrived at the tombstone of the 71st Squad, quickly activating it and coloring the inscriptions. In just a few minutes, he had a Buddha statue in his hand. The Buddha statue emitted a Buddha light, still bright after thousands of years of corrosion in the swamp.
It is indeed a good item. Consider it interest.
Without hesitation, Lin Moyu put it away. Previously, Kongwen Buddha had tried to kill him, and although he had counter-killed him, the Buddhist clan still owed him a blood debt. The strong of the human clan stood up for him, but that was the human clan's matter, and this debt would eventually be collected by him. For now, he would collect some interest. As for Xiaoming Buddha, although Lin Moyu didn't like the Buddhist clan, he believed in clear accounts even among brothers. Xiaoming Buddha hadn't harmed him, and they had even cooperated briefly. So Lin Moyu didn't plan to leave him here. He knew that if Xiaoming Buddha continued searching here, he wouldn't last decades until the next exit opened. Based on the location he had just seen, Lin Moyu quickly found the unconscious Xiaoming Buddha and the other two. Using laws to form ropes, he dragged the three into the sky and brought them to the tombstone of the Legion commander. After placing them down, Lin Moyu waited quietly. About a day later, Xiaoming Buddha was the first to wake up. His eyes quickly regained clarity, and he looked around warily. Seeing Lin Moyu, he relaxed slightly.
Amitabha.
Xiaoming Buddha chanted a Buddha's name, hiding a trace of unease in his heart. The irresistible force he had felt earlier made him feel powerless. Even from a Buddha, he had never felt such a level of power. That power was too strong, so strong that he couldn't resist, feeling like an ant that could be easily crushed. After calming down, Xiaoming Buddha said,
Did Taoist Lin save me?
Lin Moyu didn't deny it.
It was just a small effort.
In a sense, it was indeed Lin Moyu who had saved Xiaoming Buddha. If he had left him alone, Xiaoming Buddha would have surely died. Xiaoming Buddha wasn't one to procrastinate and immediately said,
I will remember this kindness and repay it in the future if I have the chance.
Lin Moyu smiled and didn't take it seriously. Xiaoming Buddha then asked,
Taoist Lin, where is this place?
Lin Moyu glanced at the still unconscious Black Sand God King and Erosion God King.
Let's wait for the two Taoists to wake up before discussing it.
Xiaoming Buddha nodded and didn't press further. After a while, the Black Sand God King finally woke up, looking as fearful as Xiaoming Buddha. The last to wake up was the Erosion God King, who had the lowest realm and was the first to faint and the last to wake up. Once all three were awake, Lin Moyu finally explained how to leave. He pointed to the tombstone and said,
This is the exit of the Nether Swamp. I found a way to open it. Besides this, there's another way to leave. Every 100 years, a gap appears in the sky, and you can leave through it. But before the gap opens, you might face some danger.
Lin Moyu pointed into the distance. Xiaoming Buddha strained his eyes and finally saw the monsters Lin Moyu was pointing at. There were a few ape-like monsters wandering aimlessly. They emitted no aura and couldn't be sensed by the soul, only visible to the naked eye. Before they attacked, it was impossible to gauge their strength. Xiaoming Buddha asked,
How strong are they?
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
They should be about the same as you, little Buddha. You can go and try.
Xiaoming Buddha thought for a moment and shook his head.
No need.
Just then, an ape-like monster suddenly raised its head and looked at Xiaoming Buddha. Its eyes glowed with ferocity, and Xiaoming Buddha's face changed. He felt himself being locked onto by a powerful, deadly, and violent aura. This aura was very strong and terrifying, not weaker than himself. Then, dozens of auras locked onto him, and several ape-like monsters charged at him. 1380. Chapter 1380. Fellow Taoist, farewell until we meet again. Xiaoming Buddha's expression changed drastically. His eyes filled with fear. Lin Moyu's calm voice echoed in his ears.
Little Buddha, there's no need to act. They can't get through.
Lin Moyu's words were like a heavenly voice, instantly calming Xiaoming Buddha. He suddenly realized that his previous emotions were problematic. This wasn't the reaction he should have had. He had been influenced by the ape-like monsters, which had the ability to affect people's minds. The ape-like monsters had already charged forward, only 100 meters away. However, they seemed to hit an invisible wall and were bounced back. The speed at which they were repelled was as fast as when they charged forward. Lin Moyu continued,
Don't stare at them. They will sense it and attack those who look at them.
Xiaoming Buddha forced himself to calm down.
Thank you, fellow Taoist Lin.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
No need to be polite. These creatures are very powerful. The minor deities who came in before likely died at their hands.
Lin Moyu couldn't tell Xiaoming Buddha about the images he had seen, so he directly labeled these ape-like monsters as the culprits. The number of ape-like monsters at the minor deity level was enough to kill the minor deities who had entered before. Xiaoming Buddha's eyes flickered.
It seems that the treasure of my Buddhist clan is out of reach.
Now, he didn't even dare to leave the tombstone by 100 meters, let alone search for the Buddhist clan's treasure. The Black Sand God King and the Erosion God King remained silent, but they understood the situation clearly. They had long lost the desire to continue searching and just wanted to leave as soon as possible. Nothing was more important than their lives.
This place is too dangerous. We shouldn't have come here. So many minor deities entered before, and none escaped. How can a few of us succeed?
Lin Moyu asked.
Little Buddha, do you plan to continue searching here or leave with me?
Xiaoming Buddha almost immediately replied,
It seems this treasure is not fated for me. I will leave as well.
Lin Moyu then looked at the Black Sand God King.
What about you too?
The Black Sand God King also said,
We will leave as well.
Lin Moyu smiled.
All right, in that case, I will open the passage.
He then communicated with the tombstone, opening the passage to the Yellow Earth Desert. A dark portal opened at the base of the tombstone. Lin Moyu said,
This portal leads to the Yellow Earth Desert. I will go first. Fellow Taoists, farewell until we meet again.
Xiaoming Buddha chanted a Buddhist mantra.
Farewell until we meet again. Farewell until we meet again.
Lin Moyu stepped into the portal and was swallowed by the darkness. Xiaoming Buddha and the other two immediately followed, fearing the portal would disappear. The sudden change from extreme cold to extreme heat made it difficult to adapt. Lin Moyu looked at the vast land of yellow sand and the 9 fireballs hanging high in the sky. Returning from the Nether Swamp, one would be randomly teleported to a location in the Yellow Earth Desert. Lin Moyu found himself in the outer region and determined his position using the 9 fireballs. To leave the Yellow Earth Desert, one had to use the stone steels in the oases. After identifying his direction, Lin Moyu quickly headed to the nearest oasis. He discovered that he could fly in the Yellow Earth Desert as well. The recognition he gained in the Nether Swamp was also effective here. This wasn't surprising, as the Yellow Earth Desert was part of the Nether Swamp. If he could fly in the Nether Swamp, he could naturally fly here as well. Being able to fly avoided many troubles. In just half an hour, Lin Moyu reached the edge of an oasis and found the stone steel that could take him out of the Yellow Earth Desert. He activated it. A dark portal appeared, and the aura of the Great World emanated from it. Entering this portal would allow him to leave the Yellow Earth Desert and return to the Great World. This journey felt like a lifetime to Lin Moyu. Taking a deep breath, he was about to step into the portal when he suddenly stopped. His expression changed slightly, showing a hint of seriousness. In that instant, he had a premonition of mortal danger.
Returning to the Great World will be dangerous. Where does the danger come from?
Lin Moyu pondered and quickly found the answer.
It seems the demon clan has set up a trap, waiting for me to enter. Senior Zhu should be outside as well. How could he just watch the demon clan do this? Like a mantis stalking a cicada, unaware of the Oreo behind. It seems Senior Zhu wants to be the Oreo. Or perhaps Senior Zhu just wants to watch the show to see how I, the cicada, will resist. Alright then, let's give Senior Zhu a good show. But let me think, what kind of trap would the demons set? To kill me, they must first trap me.
Various speculations flashed through Lin Moyu's mind. He put himself in the demon's shoes, thinking about how he would set up the trap. Based on his understanding of the demon clan, he considered which demons and what level of power they would use. Soon, he had thought of several possibilities and found ways to counter them. The Lightspeed Lich, Starlight Lich, and Flame Star Lich appeared beside him. The Starlight Lich summoned the projection of the Law Star River, which slowly enveloped Lin Moyu. Only then did Lin Moyu enter the portal. After a brief transmission, Lin Moyu left the Yellow Earth Desert and returned to the Great World. As Lin Moyu returned, the Nightmare God opened his eyes in the starry sky outside the Yellow Earth Desert.
Prepare to act.
His command echoed through the starry sky, and the demons who had been waiting for days immediately got ready. Killing intent surged through the starry sky. The illusion demon began creating illusions, waiting for Lin Moyu to appear and fall into the trap. Zhu Qiwu's eyes lit up.
The brat is finally coming out. Let's see how you handle this life and death crisis.
In his eyes, without using his life-saving trump card, Lin Moyu was doomed to die in this trap. He could save Lin Moyu at any time, but he wanted to see how Lin Moyu would react to a deadly situation. How one reacts to a life-and-death situation can reveal a lot about their character. This is also something one must learn to become a supreme being. A spatial fluctuation appeared in the starry sky, and Lin Moyu's figure emerged. Under the starry sky, Lin Moyu saw the countless stars and found himself on a grassland. Ning Yi, Mu Chanqian, and Shu Han were sitting beside him. His head was resting on Mo Yun's soft lap. A gentle breeze blew, accompanied by the starry sky, creating an incredibly serene scene. 1381, 1381. Chapter 1381. Unfortunately, an illusion is still an illusion. Lin Moyu looked at the starry sky, showing an expression of enjoyment.
Is this an illusion? It feels so real. It's been a long time since I saw you all. I really missed you.
Lin Moyu took a deep breath, savoring the moment, and carefully looked at the faces of his 4 beloved wives.
Unfortunately, an illusion is still an illusion.
As he spoke, starlight began to emanate from his body, and the scene before him shattered in the starlight. Among the demon clan, the one most skilled at creating illusions was the illusion demon. But even an illusion at the level of a deity couldn't affect the Starlight Lich. With the protection of the Starlight Lich, as long as Lin Moyu wished, almost all illusions were ineffective against him. Just now, Lin Moyu merely wanted to see what kind of illusion the opponent had created for him. He didn't expect to see his 4 wives, so he indulged in the illusion for a couple more seconds. Now that the illusion had shattered, Lin Moyu saw a battle knife coming towards him, already within arm's reach. The battle knife was part of the demon's battle formation, composed of at least 1,000 powerful God King level demons.
First, the illusion demon weaves an illusion to trap me, making me lose the ability to resist. Then, other demons come to kill me. It's a good plan, but unfortunately.
Lin Moyu's eyes showed a hint of a smile. He had anticipated several methods the demon clan might use, and one of them was this. First, use the illusion demon to create an illusion to trap him, then proceed with the killing. So he had the Starlight Lich wrap around him, using its characteristics to resist the illusion. The demon battle formation attacked, and to everyone outside, Lin Moyu appeared motionless in the starry sky, like a person waiting to die. Several deity-level demons were already showing excitement in their eyes. They didn't make a move because they were deities. How could deities stoop to attack an ant? They were just here to oversee just in case. Now it seemed there was no
just in case.
Just before the battle knife reached him, Lin Moyu suddenly moved. In the starry sky, a red light suddenly shone. The red light carried a strong curse, cursing the soul. Fusion spell. Time curse. The demon battle formation instantly fell into chaos, with the God Kings forming the battle formation screaming in agony. Lin Moyu was now at the 9th rank of a true deity, and the power of his curse had greatly increased compared to before. It was enough to make the God Kings feel excruciating pain. Under the curse, the battle formation almost collapsed. The red light had not yet extinguished when pieces of flesh appeared in Lin Moyu's hand, remnants of a 9th-rank God King stone demon corpse. Immediately, a series of violent explosions erupted in the starry sky. The explosions were as beautiful as fireworks, incredibly splendid. Each explosion surpassed the full-force attack of a 9th-rank God King, like a 9th-rank God King fighting desperately. Even a minor deity would have to retreat in the face of such an attack. The battle formation completely collapsed, and almost all the God Kings within it were killed or injured in an instant. Lin Moyu instantly shattered the battle formation, killing all the God Kings, and in the next second, he locked onto the illusion demon in the starry sky. Illusions were ineffective against him, and the hidden illusion demon in the starry sky had nowhere to hide in his eyes. More beautiful fireworks bloomed in the starry sky, and this time Lin Moyu used the newly killed corpses. The illusion demon was a very troublesome type among the demon clan. They created illusions and had strong deceptive abilities. Assisting other demons, they could cause great trouble for the enemy. It could be said that a team with an illusion demon had greatly enhanced combat power. But the illusion demon also had a weakness. Their bodies were very fragile. Even a 9th-rank God King illusion demon had life force comparable to a 1st-rank God King human. If they lost the ability to deceive with illusions, a 1st-rank God King human could kill a 9th-rank God King illusion demon. In Lin Moyu's eyes, this was a species that maximized its strengths and weaknesses to the extreme. In a series of explosions, one illusion demon after another was killed. By the time the deity-level demons reacted, there was no living being left around Lin Moyu.
How is this possible? How did he do it?
The deity-level demons were stunned. They had waited so long and set up a perfect trap, only for it to be easily dismantled. The quickest to react was a deity-level stone demon. Stone demons had simple minds and didn't think too much about why. They only knew that they needed to kill Lin Moyu now, and that was enough. So he was the first to react and charged at Lin Moyu. When a deity made a move, the difference from a God King was like heaven and earth. A brilliant star river appeared in the starry sky, filled with rolling boulders, countless giant stones surging like waves. Each giant stone carried immense momentum, enough to shatter a star upon impact. This was the Law Star River summoned by the stone demon deity, the Earth and Stone Law Star River. Deities were powerful partly because they could harness the power of the Law Star River, which was difficult to resist even for minor deities. The Star River hung upside down, and countless giant stones fell towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu transformed into a stream of light, flying away at a speed of 150,000 kilometers per second.
You can't escape.
The stone demon deity's voice echoed from the Law Star River, which followed Lin Moyu relentlessly, no matter how fast he flew. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
Not necessarily.
The wings of the undead spread and vibrated rapidly. The soul lock was instantly severed, and the Law Star River that had been chasing Lin Moyu lost its target, stopping in the starry sky. The wings of the undead could sever soul locks, even those of deity-level beings. The stone demon deity didn't expect this and felt insulted by Lin Moyu's actions. Lin Moyu's actions were not harmful but extremely insulting. Deities valued their dignity, and in his anger, the stone demon deity expanded the Law Star River, covering 1,000,000 miles of the starry sky, enveloping Lin Moyu.
Let's see how you dodge this time.
The attack turned into a map-wide bombardment. Although its power was greatly reduced, it blocked all of Lin Moyu's escape routes. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. Facing attacks from all directions, he steeled himself, and his aura surged. In an instant, Lin Moyu's power reached the peak of the 9th rank of a true deity. With a burst like a bubble, Lin Moyu's aura rose again, directly reaching the level of a minor deity. A skeletal throne appeared in the starry sky. The aura of the skeleton king on the throne was weak, only at the 4th rank of a god king. Lin Moyu didn't need the skeleton king. He needed the bone sword in the skeleton king's hand. The bone sword had no special attributes but was incredibly sturdy, which was exactly what Lin Moyu needed. As the giant stones approached, Lin Moyu vibrated the wings of the undead, swiftly maneuvering through the chaotic and dense giant stones. At the same time, he pointed at the stone demon deity. Fusion spell. Time curse. The stone demon deity grunted, his soul slightly affected, feeling a sting, but that was all. After reaching the deity level, the soul reached the 4th grade, greatly enhancing its defense and resistance to soul attacks. Lin Moyu wasn't surprised by this result. He swung the bone sword in his hand. 1382 1382. Chapter 1382. Scheming, luck, killing the God Sovereign. With the blessing of 2 fundamental spells, Lin Moyu's realm was forcibly elevated to the level of a minor deity, already the limit below a God Sovereign. Under the Strong Soldier spell, his damage increased tenfold. Additionally, the spell amplification of the Sword of Godslaying. With all these blessings, Lin Moyu unleashed his strongest sword strike to date. Although it still couldn't compare to a God Sovereign, Lin Moyu was very clear about this. He was just wondering if this sword could inflict any damage on a God Sovereign. As for killing a God Sovereign, Lin Moyu never even considered it. It wasn't that he lacked the ability, but relying solely on the Sword of Godslaying was far from enough. Moreover, the law blessing of this sword strike was only at the 9th rank of a true deity, not even at the God King level. The stone demon God Sovereign didn't take this sword seriously at all.
You don't understand the meaning of the phrase all below the God Sovereign are ants.
He concentrated on controlling the Law Star River, countless giant stones crushing Lin Moyu from all directions, leaving him no escape. At the same time, a sword light suddenly shone on his body. The sword light exploded, creating numerous sword marks on his body, cutting many wounds on his surface. The wounds were neither large nor deep, only scratching the surface. But this sword made the stone demon God Sovereign's face turn ugly. He was actually injured, a dignified God Sovereign injured by Lin Moyu. This made him lose face, utterly humiliating.
Die.
He roared in anger, making the Law Star River even more violent. Lin Moyu, having unleashed the Sword of Godslaying, couldn't continue to dodge the giant stones, and was eventually swallowed by the rolling stone flow. Feeling utterly humiliated, the stone demon God Sovereign roared continuously, manipulating more giant stones to crush Lin Moyu.
I will crush you into meat paste, crush your soul completely.
Hiding in the shadows, Zhu Qiwu clenched his fists, ready to act at any moment.
Brat, you're really strong, surviving this.
He knew Lin Moyu had a life-saving trump card that would automatically activate if he was in real danger. So he wasn't in a hurry, and it seemed Lin Moyu hadn't reached his limit yet. Zhu Qiwu continued to watch the show, almost needing some snacks. A dozen seconds later, the rolling stones gradually disappeared, and the starry sky returned to normal. In the starry sky, Lin Moyu stood proudly, looking unscathed, without a single injury. The stone demon God Sovereign's face changed drastically.
Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. How can you still be alive? You can't possibly be alive.
Lin Moyu smiled, with a faint purple light flashing on his body.
Nothing is impossible.
The God Sovereign's attack was indeed powerful, and he had indeed suffered a fatal attack just now. Each giant stone's impact far exceeded the attack of a minor deity. Even if he elevated his realm to that of a minor deity, he couldn't withstand it. The undead army collapsed repeatedly, and the Legion ruler couldn't heal in time. Even after summoning the Undying Lich, it was instantly killed. After collapsing 6 times in a row, his talent was activated, and Lin Moyu was reborn. After being reborn, he fell into a crisis again, with the undead army repeatedly collapsing and reviving. Fortunately, the attack didn't last long. If it had continued for a few more seconds, Lin Moyu would have had to crush his life-saving trump card for help. However, through this strike, he experienced the insurmountable gap between himself and a God Sovereign. At this moment, Lin Moyu's aura gradually weakened. The fundamental spells had dissipated, and the Lightspeed Lich appeared on his shoulder, spreading the wings of the undead.
Not playing with you anymore.
Lin Moyu shouted, instantly flying away. With the blessing of the Lightspeed Lich, his speed far exceeded that of a god king, already stepping into the realm of a minor deity. Perhaps he couldn't compare to those god sovereigns who excelled in speed, but he could still compete with the Stone Demon God Sovereign. The Stone Demon God Sovereign reacted immediately, chasing after him. He locked onto Lin Moyu with his soul, but it was repeatedly severed by Lin Moyu. Seeing Lin Moyu flying farther and farther away, the Stone Demon God Sovereign roared in anger. At this moment, Lin Moyu suddenly stopped, frozen in midair. The Nightmare God Sovereign had appeared in front of Lin Moyu, casting an illusion to affect him. The Nightmare God Sovereign, who had not acted until now, finally made his move. His methods were silent, and his illusion weaving was extremely sophisticated. Even a God Sovereign would be trapped in his illusion, let alone Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was trapped in the illusion, frozen in place. The Nightmare God Sovereign appeared in front of Lin Moyu, only 10,000 meters away, with a cold smile.
Why don't you just wait for death? A human genius shouldn't be alive.
The Nightmare God Sovereign was notorious among humans, with countless geniuses dying at his hands. He had been on the human bounty list since he was a god king. But he never acted alone, and human experts had tried to kill him several times without success. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's body shone with starlight, and his eyes instantly cleared.
You finally showed up.
The Nightmare God Sovereign was slightly surprised, sensing something was wrong. But it was too late. His soul heard a loud bang, and then his consciousness fell into endless darkness.
How did he do it?
This was his last thought. He didn't understand how Lin Moyu killed him. Even if he was the weakest in defense among all god sovereigns, he was still a god sovereign, not someone a god king could kill. He had seen Lin Moyu's previous attack, which only scratched the Stone Demon God Sovereign, so it couldn't have killed him. But no one would answer him, ever. Lin Moyu had long discovered the Nightmare God Sovereign, but the Nightmare God Sovereign had been hiding far away, with other god sovereigns in front, making it difficult to lock onto him. Until just now, when he was about to escape, the Nightmare God Sovereign chased after him alone, weaving an illusion, giving Lin Moyu the opportunity to kill him. Lin Moyu pretended to be affected by the illusion, but the Starlight Lich had already broken it. When the Nightmare God Sovereign approached, Lin Moyu instantly detonated the Void Wolf's corpse. Demons had the weakest defense. The Void Wolf was at the third rank of a God Sovereign. Detonating its corpse was equivalent to a third-rank God Sovereign self-destructing, powerful enough to kill or even severely injure other God Sovereigns of the same rank. Lin Moyu felt that using the Void Wolf to blow up the thick-skinned Stone Demon was useless, especially since the Stone Demon had the ability to revive. But using it to blow up the weakest Nightmare God Sovereign was a guaranteed kill. As expected, the Nightmare God Sovereign couldn't withstand it and was instantly killed. Lin Moyu quickly collected the Nightmare God Sovereign's corpse and flew away again. The entire process took less than 2 seconds. There was scheming, there was luck, and Lin Moyu felt fortunate.
This is the second God Sovereign to die by my hand.
Lin Moyu thought to himself. The first was Kong Wen Buddha, who barely counted as dying by his hand. Now it was the Nightmare God Sovereign, and although luck played a part, it was indeed killed by him. The Stone Demon God Sovereign was stunned, unable to believe what he saw. Taking advantage of this, Lin Moyu quickly fled. Killing the Nightmare God Sovereign was already a stroke of luck. He couldn't defeat the Stone Demon God Sovereign. Boom! A brilliant flame star river appeared in front of him, blocking his path. In the Flame Star River, the Flame God Sovereign appeared.
You can't escape. No matter what means you used to kill the Nightmare God Sovereign, today you will die.
Black and red flames surged, and the Hellfire, like a giant beast in the starry sky, sought to devour Lin Moyu. 1383 1383 Chapter 1383. Have you enjoyed the show enough? Hundreds of thousands of stars were instantly engulfed in flames, leaving Lin Moyu with no room to escape. There was no need for a soul lock. It was unavoidable. A god sovereign's casual attack was like a map-wide bombardment, and it was extremely powerful. Lin Moyu's first reaction was to detonate the nightmare god sovereign's corpse, hoping to kill the flame demon in front of him. But to his horror, he found that he couldn't lock onto the flame demon. The flame demon seemed close at hand, but it wasn't actually there. What he saw was just a phantom. God sovereigns are very clever. Seeing the nightmare god sovereign killed, they would naturally think of countermeasures. After all, Lin Moyu was only at the 9th rank of a true deity, far from the level of a god sovereign. It was normal that he couldn't lock onto the target. The flame lich was deployed, summoning the projection of the Lost Star River to resist the flames rolling in from all directions.
I didn't expect you to not be a god sovereign but still able to summon the Lost Star River. You are indeed a remarkable genius. Unfortunately, your Lost Star River is too weak and won't last long.
Lin Moyu's expression was grave. The flame demon was right. His Lost Star River projection was too weak and couldn't compare to a god sovereign's Lost Star River. It wouldn't hold out for long. The flame lich's Lost Star River, after absorbing a large amount of flames, was already on the verge of collapse and could break at any moment. Lin Moyu held the black stone in his hand, ready to crush it at any time. He quickly thought of countermeasures but found no solution. His strength was too weak, a hard fact. The flame lich finally reached its limit, and the Lost Star River collapsed. The flame lich let out a mournful cry and returned to the spell star. The flames backfired, severely injuring it, making it temporarily unable to appear. The black-red flames rolled in, ready to engulf Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu knew he had no way out and was about to crush the black stone to summon the big figure to save him. Suddenly, his brows relaxed, and he put the black stone away. A figure suddenly appeared in front of him, looking down at the starry sky. Zhu Qiwu had finally seen enough of the show and decided to step in. With a casual slap, he turned the sky full of flames into fireworks. The fireworks exploded in the starry sky, briefly dazzling before disappearing without a trace. Only then did Lin Moyu realize that a god-sovereign-level demon, shrouded in flames, was standing tens of thousands of kilometers away.
No wonder I couldn't lock onto the target. It wasn't even here.
Lin Moyu thought to himself and looked at Zhu Qiwu.
Senior, you finally decided to act.
Zhu Qiwu chuckled.
Did you know I was here all along?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
I guessed you might be, but I wasn't sure. Now it seems you've been watching the show all along.
Zhu Qiwu laughed twice.
So, your calmness was all an act?
Lin Moyu didn't answer directly.
What do you think?
He knew that with Zhu Qiwu's sharp eyes, he could definitely tell if he was acting. It's not easy to fool a god sovereign. Zhu Qiwu snorted.
Clever.
Lin Moyu corrected.
I call it being resourceful.
Zhu Qiwu didn't continue the debate but looked at the flame demon and the stone demon god sovereign. The two god sovereigns stood in the starry sky, unsure of what to do next. In the starry sky, besides them, there were dozens of illusion demons. These illusion demons had witnessed the nightmare god sovereign being killed and seemed scared, not fleeing immediately. Perhaps they thought Lin Moyu would be killed by the stone demon god sovereign or the flame demon, so they didn't run. They never expected Zhu Qiwu to intervene. Zhu Qiwu didn't give these illusion demons a chance to escape. He reached out and grabbed them. Invisible giant hands appeared around the illusion demons, crushing them into powder. Zhu Qiwu's attack was so powerful that even other god sovereigns couldn't withstand it, let alone the illusion demons, who had the weakest defense among the god kings. The flame demon tried to steady his emotions, gritting his teeth and staring at Zhu Qiwu.
Who are you?
Just now, Zhu Qiwu had shattered his Lost Star River with a casual slap, displaying immense power. He was extremely wary of Zhu Qiwu and was ready to flee. The stone demon god sovereign stood far away, not daring to approach, also ready to retreat. Zhu Qiwu smiled.
You've been on the battlefield for many years, and you don't even know my name?
The flame demon and the stone demon god sovereign looked confused, not recognizing Zhu Qiwu. Zhu Qiwu seemed to be in a good mood, satisfied with Lin Moyu's performance, so he spoke a bit more. Normally, he would have killed them with a slap. Zhu Qiwu's voice was calm.
My surname is Zhu.
Surname Zhu. The flame demon seemed to realize Zhu Qiwu's identity, his face changing drastically. Without a word, he turned to flee. But it was too late. Zhu Qiwu extended his hand, and a giant hand appeared in the starry sky, sweeping across like a star. The flame demon had no chance to dodge. After the slap, the flames extinguished, and the flame demon was shattered into pieces. The star-shattering law, a slap that shatters stars. This was an incredibly powerful and almost unreasonable law. Previously, Zhu Qiwu had used the same method to deal with the abyssal dragon demon, seemingly casually slapping it to death. Now he did the same to the flame demon, killing it with a single slap. Zhu Qiwu's strength was at its peak, invincible among god sovereigns, far surpassing ordinary god sovereigns. The stone demon god sovereign was terrified, immediately crushing the magic stone in his hand. A dark portal appeared beside him. As long as he entered the portal, he would be safe. He knew his speed was lacking and couldn't escape, so he used this method to flee.
It's useless.
Zhu Qiwu shook his head slightly and reached out to grab the stone demon. A giant hand appeared out of thin air, firmly grasping the stone demon. The portal generated a strong suction force, trying to pull the stone demon god sovereign in, but Zhu Qiwu's hand held him tightly, preventing him from entering. The stone demon god sovereign struggled frantically, summoning the Law Star River above his head, countless giant stones falling on the hand. But it was useless. Zhu Qiwu's hand was unshakable. After a while, the dark portal disappeared. The stone demon god sovereign's soul sank to the bottom. He knew he had no chance of survival. Then Zhu Qiwu clenched his hand. With a bang, the stone demon god sovereign was crushed, exploding in the starry sky. The stone demon, known for its strong defense, couldn't withstand Zhu Qiwu's casual grip. The stone demon god sovereign was dead, with no chance of revival. Lin Moyu watched, sighing at the disparity in strength. Zhu Qiwu was incredibly powerful, not like an ordinary god sovereign. Felt like Zhu Qiwu was bullying children, and he had a weapon. Zhu Qiwu smiled.
Do you understand now?
Lin Moyu nodded.
As long as your fist is hard enough, you have nothing to fear. And if your strength is strong enough, even the stone demon's revival is fake.
Zhu Qiwu laughed.
Indeed, everything is fake, only strength is real. Remember this, no matter how many life-saving methods you have, if your strength is insufficient, it's still insufficient. If I can't kill you once, I can kill you twice, 3 times, until you're dead.
Lin Moyu knew Zhu Qiwu was speaking to him and humbly accepted.
I understand, senior.
Zhu Qiwu nodded in satisfaction.
Good. Have you rescued the person?
1384 1384